Welcome back, West Michigan. This is What's Happening West Michigan. I'm your hostess, Lynda Balkema, and I'm here at the VFW on Getty. And with me is
Don Carson.
Don Carson. And Don Carson is a Muskegon Vietnam veteran. Sir, what year did you come back from Vietnam?
1974.
And what year did you go in?
1958. A long time.
A long time. A long time. In what branch?
Navy.
I know. I heard somebody else say earlier, is there any other branch? which of
right.
course there is, but we know that loyalty. So what was it? Can you give me a little bit about what it was like all those years? Where did you go? What did you see? I mean,
A lot of trouble.
a lot of trouble, I know.
It wasn't pretty. No war is.
No.
And I called it man's inhumanity to man.
Oh, yeah. It's hard for people to imagine. We see movies, but you can't ever imagine the reality of this. And you live with that every day, and you live with those memories every day. And you've probably had a lot of help and support from your comrades.
I have, yes,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. And now we were.
The VA here in Muskegon has helped a lot.
That's good.
So.
And this wall here, I know panel number 5 here starts with James Achterhoff. And it has the Muskegon veterans that we lost in Vietnam. Are some of those still MIA? Are they considered MIA?
Some are.
Some are. Okay.
But a very good friend of mine is on panel 5, column 3. And his name was Tom Annis.
Tom Annis.
And he was from Hesperia.
Okay.
And that's where I was originally born, was up in Hesperia. But I joined down here in Muskegon.
Okay. Was Tom in the Navy also?
No, he was in the Air Force.
Air Force.
And he was killed in a non-combat related plane he was in crashed.
Oh.
And so he's the only one I see here from Muskegon, although when I went to the wall in Washington, D.C., I counted 153 people that I knew on there.
It is something to see that wall in D.C. It's very moving. We also come over here, sir. And we have a World War II veteran also. I want to thank you so much. And thanks for being on the show. And thanks so much for your years of service. That was a lot of years. What was your ranks?
I was a chief petty officer when I retired. I put 20 years in.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming up.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. And your name, sir?
My name is Joseph H. Gonzalez.
Joseph Gonzalez. World War II. You don't look old enough to be a World War II veteran.
I'm 85 years old.
I find that I want a close-up of this man because I find that very hard to believe that you're 85.
Yeah, right.
My father, Glenn Lear, was also a World War II veteran, and both of his brothers, and they're all deceased now. They died in their 70s, but you look like you have a lot of years left in you.
I've been going to funerals, and I've buried about over 800 from the surrounding area here. So
that's very hard when you see that you're out with your
We
friends.
was at a funeral this morning at a Prince of Peace, so we buried. We have a regular veterans ritual that we do, military ritual.
The military,
So,
it was wonderful. My father's funeral. It was nice to have that military funeral. So tell me some things. What year did you get out of World War II?
1946, May 12, 1946.
So you have a lot of history to tell and share. Do you have any special stories that you could share with me right now?
What kind of stories you need?
Well, I don't know. Tell me a little bit. What does it feel like after all these years when you think about World War II? And where are some of the areas you traveled?
Well, Asiatic, Southwest Pacific. I spent all my time over there. I put in 27 months over there. And I've been in Australia, New Guinea, Guam, Saipan, Okinawa, you name it, and I've been just about Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was our home base, So
my uncle was lost at Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
I went through Pearl Harbor. I wasn't there when the Japs attacked it, but I was there shortly after, and it was not a very nice thing to see. No. So I still have a lot of feelings about that,
I think, you carry that with you forever. That's something.
Your life,
those
right,
memories are with you forever.
yeah, and so.
So you can understand what these guys, the Vietnam veterans, you're here to support them.
Yeah, right. And we try to do all our veterans right here, you know.
I know.
So
Yeah, you know, were you involved? I see at hospice last week. It was in the Muskegon Chronicle about the gentleman who didn't have a family, and he passed away. And I don't know if it was this post, but they did give him a full service. He didn't have any family, but he had served in the war. And
yeah,
and
we just went through something like that. My brother George just passed away 2 weeks ago, and he lived around the Shelby area. And they wasn't going to do any military rights for him at all. And one of our friends got a hold of the chaplain, and me and the chaplain, we got something going on over there. And the American Legion was nice to come out of Hart, I think it was. And they done the military funeral, and so it was real nice.
very meaningful.
Right,
Can you?
right.
I know that there's a lot of hard and sad times, but can you give me a happy memory from the war? Because I know there was camaraderie and good friendships made.
Well, the best time I ever had in my life, I think, it was when we was in Australia.
In Australia?
Yeah, I really loved Australia.
Yeah?
The people treated us good over there, and it was nice.
There's probably some wild stories you can't tell me. Is that true?
Tell them.
Well, sir, thank you. I want to
Okay.
shake your hand
Okay.
because it's an honor and a privilege to meet you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your service. Thank you. Okay, and who else do we have here? Step right up here. Oh,
Hi, how are you today?
good. How are you? And your
Real
name?
fine. I'm John Leister.
John Leister, and you are a Vietnam veteran.
Yes, I am.
And what year did you come home?
Came home in '71.
In 71. And anything you'd like to tell me about Vietnam?
No, what I have to say, most I served over there, went over there in '67. Spent 2 tours over there in Vietnam.
Come right up this way. I want you to look right at the camera here for us. Okay.
And while this wall is here, I spent tours with Jimmy Ackerhoff, who's from Muskegon. He was killed over there in action. Also, John Landing, who was a corpsman, spent his time with the Marine Corps, which I'm a diehard Marine. He was also killed over there in Vietnam. He's also on this wall, both from Michigan. And I'm proud to say I served with both of them in Vietnam. They're both Marines. Even though he was a corpsman, he spent his time with the Marines, and so on.
So, yeah, it's good that we have this and we can honor and memorialize them.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to say because Jim Ackerhoff, when it went over there behind me, he was like a buddy of mine, and I went in the Marine Corps before he did, and he felt that all my stories, he wanted to be a diehard Marine, so he joined because of me, and it sort of felt bad because it was my fault he joined the Marine Corps. But he served strong, and he was proud to be a Marine, and he fought what he thought was right. I went over there because I thought it was right, even though a lot of people didn't think it was right. But to this day, I thought it was the right thing to do.
Well, that's good, you know, and you all went over there feeling you were serving our country, and our country owes you a debt of gratitude, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I didn't tell you that he came home with 3 Purple Hearts.
Oh my gosh, 3 Purple Hearts. This
Yes.
is a decorated veteran.
Right,
3 Purple Hearts.
Bronze Star, Silver Heart, and a Silver Star and 3 Purple Hearts.
Wow, wow. What a I get goosebumps over this, and it really chokes me up. Thank you so much for your service, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you.